I'm glad you can join us. As again, we're waiting for the next set of coaches. We got quite a few more to get to, and we are expected to talk to some of them. We hope some of them are eating lunch, some of them are on stage, talk with ESPN, some of them are across the way there. So a lot of moving pieces here. We are joined at the other microphone. We always try to talk with Dr. Jason Cable, Alcorn's own, doing a good job at Alabama State. And it seems like when you're talking about the SWAC and what's going on facilities, people talk about Alabama State first because Alabama State's got really nice facilities, Hornet Stadium and all that good stuff. The Acadome facilities look really nice, and I'm reading stuff, new dorm, just there's a lot happening at Alabama State, Dr. Cable.
It is, and I had to attribute that to our leader, Dr. Quentin T. Ross Jr., a 15th president, is a visionary. And it allows us the opportunity to execute his vision, and that's to be the best. Our tagline is where history is made.
What is it about, has impressed you about Dr. Ross, just the commitment and just all that good energy?
I think his ability to know what's around the corner. It's like you're playing basketball. You should be able to beat the person immediately in front of you, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta understand what to do when help side comes, right? And so he's able to understand what the future looks like and how to position the institution and in athletics for that next phase.
And for Alabama State, just great facilities. I mean, you all are keeping it up. I mean, things are looking up, and it's a different landscape, though. I mean, June 7th, I've heard some people say June 7th changed a lot in college athletics. The settlement. How did you see that come June, when June 7th hit and the judge approved the settlement? What were you thinking, just as an administrator and trying to lean forward?
I think first off, I've been tracking it for about 3 to 4 years. I have the opportunity, and fortunate to have the opportunity to serve on several NCAA committees, and so you can kind of see the trajectory of the settlement and the things that were happening pre-settlement, and so you kind of knew where it was headed. And so I think it put us in a space where you have to pay to play. You have to figure out innovative ways to support student-athlete benefits. You don't have to, but if you don't, I think you limit your chance of being very competitive. And so it's just one of those things that you just have to adapt to. You have to change. You may have to augment the way that you do things within the department. But we had a plan coming into June 7th, and now we're executing our plan.
I wanted to talk with other ADs. I talked with our athletic director and Ashley Robinson. Just you got your collective, but then you've got your foundation. So you got two entities going, and then you have some schools where it's all under one umbrella. I guess there's no really one way to do this, and I guess that's where I'm trying to, how is there one consensus way to do this? But I guess there is not.
Well, I look at models. I mean, I think the SEC probably has the strongest model, considering that they play for more championships than any other conference. And so I think in their space, you see the collective being used to supplement student-athlete benefits because they are able to pay up to $20.5 million. So they're up to the cap. So now they have to find another way, another entity to support student-athletes to remain competitive. In our space, we're not paying up to that cap. And so we could utilize other institutional funds. I mean, it's just a grab bag of pots of money, and each institution is different. And so some institutions elect to go the collective route. Some institutions say we're going to fund our student-athlete benefits through the foundation. There are ticket sales. I mean, there are so many different pots. It just depends on the institution, the culture, and the leadership.
How is Alabama State doing it?
We got our hands in a lot of pot. So we had a collective, we had a foundation, we had the institutional funds. I mean, we want to make it very easy for individuals to give, and we want the money to go where they see fit. And so we got the Hornet Club, we got an NIL fund, we have a collective. Hornet Club is operational. NIL fund is for student-athlete benefit, and the collective is for student-athlete benefit. So it's two ways to give to student-athlete benefit, and then the Hornet Club is the overarching club that supports athletics holistically.
So there's just not one blanket way of doing this. And I guess, and the other thing that I'm learning is that even though you can increase your roster and all that to a certain, you don't have to, you have to find ways financially to make it happen.
Right, and it just depends on the model. Some coaches do not want to increase the roster size to the limit, right? And then obviously that's probably your biggest expense. When you look at student athlete benefit, you pay what you can afford as it relates to your revenue share, which you bring in, obviously. When you look at scholarships, I mean, that's a fixed cost that you have to support over at least 4 years, if you're committed to a student athlete throughout their matriculations. Obviously, with the transfer portal, a number of student athletes don't stay that long. But my point is the increase in scholarships is a heavy push. You really have to be strategic in terms of how you support that.
You're always strategic, knowing you and just in your administrative roles. Did you? You're saying you pretty much saw this coming. You as a professional, you kind of saw this coming down the road.
Saw it coming down the road. I mean, we were the only HBCU back in 2022 to provide academic incentive, or what they call Austin payments, right? And so people didn't realize when the legislation passed for name, image, and likeness, there was opportunity to provide benefits to student athletes just for being student athletes, being eligible and coming back to the institution. So we provided those payments announced in 21, provided those payments beginning the fall of 2022. And so we've already have a mechanism to do it. We just have to increase the pot of money and through the different pots that I just mentioned. Yeah.
And everybody's doing it a little differently. I'm just the future of this. What do you see the future of it? We're still trying to figure it out. You all are ahead of the curve, and we're still having conversations in some places. How do you think this is going to look 3 or 4 years from now?
I think for 3 or 4 years from now, you'll see the collectives to begin to dissolve, because I don't think that the way that it is right now, you can really provide any governance over what student athletes receive. Obviously, the cap provides what the institution can give directly to student athletes, but when you have the collective out there, and some of them may operate officially, some of them operate unofficially. If you've been paying attention to the news, some of them have had to dissolve because of tax implications. And so I think in 3 to 4 years, you'll see limited collectives. They may still exist, but not at the volume they do now. And I think the student athlete benefit will be tied more to institutional support. That way it can be governed by the NCAA.
So with some collectives, from what I'm hearing and what I've been told, some of them, when you donate to a foundation, you get the tax benefit from it. But with these collectives, unless you're a business, those benefits, the tax benefit doesn't necessarily exist, and that could hurt as well. So by working with the university, I guess, that provides more benefit for the donor, and it also can be regulated more.
Absolutely, and there's a safety net there because your foundations have been around for a long time for the purpose of supporting the institution. Collectives have just kind of popped up as a way to remain competitive or increase competitiveness within the Division I space.
We're talking with Dr. Jason Cable, just going to get Alabama State's perspective in terms of what they're doing. And you all are just continuing to keep it rolling. I'm just continue to be impressed, in facilities and everything. A lot of folks are impressed with what you guys are doing.
Yeah, facilities. I mean, we had a great core. We really focused on branding when I came in. We have added to our facilities. But I think right now, as we talk about mostly, what's important now is figuring out a way to play the game of student-athlete benefit and how to support that. Innovation, I think, is key in what we do. We don't mind being the first. If it doesn't work, oh well, we go back to the drawing board. But we don't set out to fail. But we're not scared to get out there with something new, just like we did with women's flag football.
Yeah.
And so it's something that was on the horizon that we saw could be a benefit because it's the state of Alabama. When you look at the number of high schools that have women's flag football as a sport. I mean, it's over 100. And then the junior college system adopted it, so we're the only Division I school in the country right now that has flag football, and so it's been moving pretty fast. Got partnerships with the NFL and other organizations to support it. So right now we're still excited about it, but it's one of the things that was on the horizon and we just kind of jumped out. And it's working for us right now. I won't talk about the things we jumped out on. It didn't work so well, but you have to take chances in this business. You know, and you heard the old saying, scared money don't make money.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a simple way to put it.
But it's true.
But it's true. You have to be willing to invest to get a return on your investment.
Yeah, I mean, I would say cutting edge. You all take a stab at something, and hey, if it definitely won't work if you don't try.
No, look, I never seen a shot go in that you didn't shoot.
I tell you, this, boy, when me and Dr. Cable talk, it goes here and there, but I've been knowing him forever and a day. The reason why we're here is SWAC football. Eddie Robinson Jr. You know, you talk about continued improvement, and Alabama State was the team that I thought would push for the East last year. Obviously, Andrew Body, the quarterback, got hurt. You had a big game with Florida A&M, but then the doors kind of opened for you later on, and Jackson State won the East, and they won it at Hornet Stadium. What do you see with Eddie Robinson Jr. in the program? You talk about continued improvement. Where do you see with the football program right now?
First, I mean, winning is such a dynamic process. And so you saw last year, I think we had the talent. Everybody felt good about it. We finished the year with our fifth-string quarterback, who did a phenomenal job. So I'm not taking anything away from Keith, but he did a great job, but it was unexpected.
Yeah.
And so one thing that we have to consider is that you have to do things the right way to have an opportunity to win.
Yeah.
And we did that last year. We had an opportunity to win, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But if you don't do things the right way, then you don't have an opportunity to win. That's guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I think we position ourselves in a place now with 3 winning seasons, going through the injuries, going through the challenges of the conference, understanding what it takes to win, that we're at the point now where the improvement has to result in a championship for us to be satisfied.
So the next step is playing for the SWAC championship, winning the division,
winning the SWAC championship.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was taking the next step, winning the division and playing in the SWAC championship game, but winning the whole shebang and going to Atlanta.
Absolutely. And winning there too. I mean, so those are the goals, and I'm aligned with Coach Robinson. He's aligned with me, so we're both speaking the same language.
Yeah.
So that's what we talk about.
And then the opportunities were there. You had FAMU on your homecoming. I'm like, man, Alabama State. What was it last year? You had 7 games in the state of Alabama last year, and I said, oh my goodness, the door is open. I mean, not a lot of travel. I mean, it was kind of right there set up for you.
We may have had 8 or 9 games, because we had Magic City Classic.
Oh, yeah.
So this year we have 8 games in the state of Alabama. So because we got the Port City Classic with Mississippi Valley, and then we have the Magic City Classic, and then we got UAB, right? And then you got 5 home games.
Yeah.
So that's 8 games in the state of Alabama. So we've been intentional about that. I think when you look over the years, the economic impact on the state of Alabama that we've had, I mean, I think it's like, I have to go back and get the numbers, but I know it's between 27 and 30 games.
Yeah.
That we've had over the last 3 years.
So a pretty good schedule. How's Andrew Body as far as you know? I know he did an interview, and I know that was tough because he's a really tough kid, and coming over from Texas Southern, he went down early, and you did what you could at the quarterback position. But I'm sure Andrew Body's ready to get back out there.
Oh, definitely. I think he's done a great job of rehabbing and getting his body up to par to play. I looked on the leaderboard in the weight room, and so he's outlifting some of our offensive, defensive linemen.
Really?
As it relates to squats. And so, I mean, when you see a guy playing quarterback that's leading the weight room like that, coming off an injury, even though it's a lower body, we're talking about that he's excelling in, but just that mindset to work, right, and be the best in what he does. I think that's what you want in the leader of your ball club.
Well, I do know. Okay, so we got Coach Hampton coming up. Okay, good. So I do know that for basketball, I'm looking forward to that. We're coming to Montgomery and Huntsville this year. This basketball schedule is different. Every other year we're kind of making the track.
Yeah. We're still excited. We're still kind of riding the high right now. The SWAC championship and winning the game against St. Francis and then going to play Auburn tough in the first half. I mean, it was a great experience for our student athletes.
Yeah.
Coach Madlock did a great job himself and our staff. We didn't return a whole lot this year. The transfer portal got us, but we put together a solid team. I think Coach Madlock did that, and so we look forward to playing. It just came together we look forward to the season rather, but it came together the last 12 or 13 games of the season, and so hopefully we can repeat.
You're the hottest team going. I don't think too many people had Alabama State winning the tournament, but you all played the best. You all deserve everything you got there.
Absolutely, and I go back to saying winning is such a dynamic process. And so one thing they did consistently all year long, whether they were making shots, whether the ball bounced their way, making threes, they shot them, right? And played hard defensively, and just kept pushing. And it just came together at the right time.
Doc, we appreciate it. We'll be talking again.
Always good to talk to you.
Dr. Jason Cable joining us. Let's see here. What do we have coming up? Do we have Coach Hampton? Who do we have next? Okay, so Colsey's coming up. So we'll take a timeout here. James Colsey coming up next after this 2-minute timeout. We'll be right back.